That we will worry about that when we get there. I don't know. I don't think we have. We don't really have an option backing out. I don't believe.
I mean, the other option is to just, dethrone Ferreira.
Yeah.
And be out and just let. But eventually, he's not wrong. He's got the numbers. So he's got the numbers. So it's better to do it to force their hand than for them to play their hand.
Yeah. And I mean,
we could always send a Raven to Bali and kind of warn them ahead of time.
Well, the question is, so should we what does everybody think? Should we sneak into the city, or should we approach the tower and get into the city via the tower? I mean, it's
how do we sneak into the city?
Yeah, I thought there was a way.
Scale walls. How do we get through their archers? If we sneak in, we're immediately a threat to the city in the archers' eyes.
Right.
If we go through the tower, we have friends.
Yeah.
We can vouch for us.
Well, Bali's been moved to being in charge of the guard last we know, so if we just send a Raven or a message to him, let him know we're going to be coming through the line and to make way for us, then we don't have to worry about the troops trying to attack us. We don't have to worry about...
We'll send a note to our contact within the city and have them open up passage to the city for us. And let them reply to us where that would be. Right? So we send a Raven.
Well, I can hear him, so he can just say it.
Oh, okay. So then Raven
Put
goes
it
to Bali,
in the note in case he doesn't know.
Put it in the note just to let us know where to meet him to gain access to the city. We go up to that spot, we go to the city, we show him the letter, organize, and then deliver the Raven to Ferreira.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but there's still no guarantee that Ferreira doesn't know that we're there. There's no guarantee. I mean, he's the captain of the tower, so.
Right. That's why I'm trying to avoid the tower.
I know, but I'm sure he's aware of all the villains out in the city.
Sure.
But
what's the harm in letting him know we're with?
Coincidence, we show up and then all of a sudden the plan goes into effect, and I want him to be completely off guard.
So we'll try.
I want him to be expecting anything. Yeah. I want him to just be, well, now's the time, So. Okay.
So we'll try. Okay. But are we? Because I don't think we can guarantee to Gordon Ghazi that we can take the tower. I think we can guarantee that we will help him take the tower. That's the plan.
Right, from the inside.
From the inside.
From the inside, yeah.
Exactly.
So when the signal goes up, that means to him that
presumably the tower gates are open.
Well, if this will happen after we've already dethroned Ferreira, so we'll have access to that tower, because that's where he's stationed at, so we can oust Ferreira, right?
Open the gate.
Well, that's when we're going to catch him.
Yeah.
But we're not going to open the gate until we send us. But,
right.
Well, we can catch Ferreira, and then we can take the tower for ourselves. That's my plan. And then they're going to come into this, attack the city, and then we have, and it's on. And we have the tower.
Okay.
And that's when we turn the tides.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm taking it all in. I'm just going to need, when you finally coalesce your plan, an outline of what the plan is. That's all.
Okay. Right.
Not because I'm going to judge it or manipulate it, because I need to have an idea of what you're doing.
I don't. Well, we don't need to take the tower.
The people, in order to stop this army when they're invading, when they actually
the people that have the tower are the ones that
right.
So we don't need to take it. We just need to get further out.
Right.
That's
right. Yeah. But what I mean by take it is, it's a positional thing. It's a
GP.
Yeah.
Do I know if they have some sort of temple inside the city?
Christians.
Roll a insight check with advantage.
21.
You are positive they did.
Can I try using my symbol, the hospitaller symbol, to approach the tower?
You're in the center of an army camp
Mm-hmm.
that is part of a siege outside of the city.
Okay.
And between the siege lines, which this is just pictorially representing, I'm sorry, I should have said that.
Mm-hmm.
Between the siege lines and the city is probably, between the siege lines and the tower is just outside of the
I
arrow
agree, we
shot
can't guarantee
distance.
that we'll take the
So
tower.
it's pretty far.
Okay.
Because they're trying to stay just outside of arrow shot,
But once
and then from the tower itself to the walls
a guard
is
shift
another distance, but it is within arrow shot of each other. Because the city controls the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the tower is made to be supported by the city, and it's also meant to be a roadblock to anybody taking the city.
That's all we can promise.
But once we get inside there, I can try to persuade them.
Once you get inside the city,
once we get inside the tower, or
try to persuade them.
to not attack us, not us.
Well, if you're inside the tower, of course, yes, you
Use
could
the
try to
person to
persuade.
send word to Bali first,
Absolutely, you can try to persuade them. Yeah.
I show them my ID.
so we can get in.
Friend, I recommend you hide your holy
Yeah,
symbol
anyway.
No.
surrounded by our current.
I
Otherwise, you're about to get an arrow in the knee. Okay,
But
so can we write
you
a
guys-
letter?
because you guys were discussing about going to the tower and then going to the city, right?
No. I
Something
think
like that?
we're gonna send notice to Bali, right? Saying that we need
Well,
a secret way to enter the city. Maybe it's a storm drain or something.
Jonas
like
was
that.
right.
Open up for us.
As far as he's concerned, all he needs to know is that Ferreira will do as planned.
That's all
We can't guarantee that we'll help him take the tower. We can't tell him we're gonna clear away.
Okay.
We have to let him know that with this message that Bizens and Ferreira set up, they will open the way.
But they may not be willing to approach as planned, knowing that they're gonna get.
They have more men than they have when this plan was initiated. I don't see why they didn't.
We would have done it already.
They didn't have the message wasn't delivered and they never got the signal.
Okay.
I don't think we need to. We can't
They're
promise
still-
clearing.
They're still. He knows about the
Follow
signal.
that.
He knows something's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So he's still weighing his options right now, rather than losing that much men,
Okay, so we can get the
taking the
gate
tower
open.
himself.
Yeah.
We can get the gate open.
All we do is we're delivering.
He's
the
obviously
message.
not concerned about taking the tower, but if there's an easier way for him to do it, he's willing to hear
We're
it out.
delivering the message to the man inside, and we can guarantee that it will occur.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's send a letter to Bali. See if we can somehow.
Well, you're doing that. I'm just going to use the restroom. So you're sending a letter to Bali via.
Raven.
Okay. So let me know what.
From you, because you're friends with him. You know him the best, right?
Yeah, I don't think I can talk through it though.
But we're gonna write a letter saying respond to the Raven.
Yeah.
With where
Just speak to the Raven, it'll say.
yeah, we need secret entrance into
Because I'll be able to hear him.
we need secret entrance into the city, right? Tonight, cover darkness.
Yeah.
Okay? And
Or if you can just get us in.
well, we want it secret. As long as it's secret entrance into the city. I don't want Ferreira knowing that we're going into the city. So if he's here in this tower,
in this message,
if he's here in this tower and this is the city, right? I want us to be able to come in like the back door. Secretly. You know, when you figure the army is surrounding, if we can come in through the back door without Ferreira knowing, then we'll
Well, I think before we even write this letter, we need to go talk to this guy. Or
the only reason why I would say I wanted a reply from Bali first is so that we know
So
that
I
we can tell
can't-
this guy when.
I won't
And
be
where?
able. I won't be able to
Once
hear. I won't be
just
able to
tomorrow.
hear him. So we'll have to send just room to write and a pen.
Do you think if there's any way that the tower is connected to the city, like underneath? Like how is it supported? Because it's surrounded right now.
Well, he
But
said
it's completely cut off from the
he
city.
said that they see
No, the
No,
towers.
no,
there's
but the
there's
scene is
free
right
movement
here.
between the tower and the city.
The siege is
troops are
on this side
constantly
and
moving in
outside.
and out.
it's outside the tower.
I'm guessing that they
Got
just
it.
protect the
They're-
back.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Their
because
troops,
you have the tower.
their troops are just outside of archer range
Yep.
of the tower.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the tower is the only thing holding them back.
Makes sense.
But as far as this, the creature is going to be outside of 100 feet. So I will not be able to hear through it. So we'll just have to have him right on
Just
there
have them right over.
and send the raven back.
Mm-hmm. Just tell them to respond to the raven.
Alright, so let's do it.
You got going on here.
Consult on the powers that be.
Can you teleport right in now?
I can't. I can send a short. I have enough power to send a brief message to anyone, anywhere, including Bob, and receive an equally short reply.
Well, we'll send the raven.
Yeah.
Save your.
This way he could write it down.
Yeah. It doesn't cost him anything to do it.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't cost you any. Right. So.
Cost me emotion.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so what's his letter say?
We require, like friend.
Well, yeah, start
friend
off
Molly, we
by
require-
saying it's me.
Right. We require secret entrance to your city.
We will, I think, how to explain what
We've
you mean,
negotiated.
secret
We've negotiated through the lines
Well,
of
I'm
the
assuming
Turks.
you can put the lines there. We can't get through. You know what I mean? We don't want to walk to the front gate. We can't get to the front gate, so we need a way of entering your city. You know.
Mhm.
As to why.
Just
Or we could say we have
for your eyes
important,
only.
we could have really we could say we have important information for you.
Yeah.
For your eyes only.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've negotiated our way through the lines of the Turks. We just need you to provide us passage into the city. Preferably undetected.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then put trust no one.
Okay. So we're gonna send that.
It's
Live
the
in
What
you
does the letter say?
strategy.
The letter says it's from me. So it says Balder and it says to Bali. We have important information regarding
Just important. We have important.
yeah, we have important information to relay to you.
Require safe and secret passage
Yeah. We require
into the city.
undetected passage into the city. We've already negotiated our way through the line of the Turks. We just need you to get us in, and we'll talk more. We'll talk more when we get in there. Please respond by adding to the letter.
Send your reply where
With this
when.
raven.
Okay.
XO Balder.
Yep.
XO ball.
XOXO. Big guy.
Hugs and kisses. Hugs and kisses, Balder.
Much love.
Okay. So
Look forward to
how-
when we meet.
How does the raven get to Balder? What's spell? This is your familiar?
Yeah, it's
And
my familiar, and
how far can it travel? Help me.
it can go as far as I want. It can only go 100 feet with me being able to see through it, hear with it. So I can't. It's basically just going to be a bird at this point. Once it goes outside of 100
So
feet.
once it goes beyond 100 feet, how does it?
But I can
No
communicate with it and tell him who he's looking for. So basically, I can kind of just be like, with my own mind, because I can speak with it telepathically while it's near me. So I can kind of just imprint the picture of Bali into his brain. He's a homing pigeon. He just knows how to get there.
Help me. What page is it on?
I have it printed.
It's probably gonna be in spells.
All right.
Find familiar. You gain service of a familiar spirit.
I'm not trying to-
Basically, the only real rule is once it's outside of 100 feet, I can't see through its eyes, hear through its ears, that kind of stuff.
But you will know if he dies.
Yeah, I would know if it died or if someone attacked it.
Yeah.
Bali just kills it before it even gets to him. Bird! Rage!
Okay. No, it's cool. I'm just trying to figure out how's it gonna know it's Bali, or is it just?
I guess that's the part where I'll just have to speak with it telepathically and kind of show him what Bali looks like.
So
This
you
is
can
who you're
kinda
looking
see
for.
inside your mind. You share.
Well, as long as he's within 100 feet, yeah.
Okay, so where
You can communicate
so right now,
with it
where is your
telepathically.
view? Where are you telling him to go?
Go
Now,
find Timmy.
I'm telling him that you're going into the city, and I'm kind of giving him a picture of Bali, telling him that he's part of the city guard, and you have to find him.
Okay,
Good luck.
what's
luck.
the bird's name?
I have not named him.
What's the bird's name?
Lassie.
Bird.
Lassie. Lassie goes.
Well, he fell down the well. Go find him.
Hey, ravens are smart. He'll do this.
He says to you in bird speak, which you understand. He says, what does the building look like? Where do you want me to go?
What was the name of the tavern?
Oh yeah, what was the name of the tavern?
I got it. It was something like the soldiers.
Hold on one second, Lassie.
Stand by.
Bali's in a well.
It is. So it was the soldiers' wedding.
Soldier's Red
So that's where he's going. He's looking for Bali. The soldier's wet dream.
What does it look like?
Looks like an inn. That has Bali.
You visualize it in your head,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the
We've been through the city, so technically we can use it in memory.
You should go to.
so you relate the description of what it looked like on the outside and where it was in relation to the gate that you went through, because it was right inside the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, I have food."
I'll give him some food, even though he doesn't eat.
He doesn't eat.
So it's not real.
It's a magic bird. Okay.
It's not real.
like
A magic bird.
But he's a
that can
raven.
die.
He's a celestial.
Well, it doesn't actually
doesn't care.
die. Like it's
It
like a
disappears.
magical creature, so it can
He
You
does.
reconjure it.
and you can rebuild it and it'll be the same.
Does it have the memories that it had before?
Unclear. I think
He shows up
It
a year
says,
and one
appearing
day
in an
later.
unoccupied space,
It does.
this familiar has the statistics of the chosen form, though it is a celestial, fae, or fiend, your choice, instead of a beast. So it's not a real.
I think it says in the spell, I think that you can reconjure them, so it's implied it's the same being.
Okay.
Oh yeah, if it like died. then-
Yeah. So it's every time you do
But I
that.
can also make it go away.
Well, was
Make
it
it go
around
into its
when
realm.
was it around when you had it with you when we last met Polly?
No.
Oh, okay. I always thought you just.
No, that doesn't. It would.
No, it was, but it also I can just make it go away whenever I want. It's like it goes into its own realm, where it
And then
comes
how do you
back.
recall it?
You just bring it back. The only time I have to recast it is if it dies, and that takes an hour
Right.
to recast it. Otherwise, I can send him away and bring him back whenever I want. He doesn't like actually have to be with me on my shoulder or something.
Okay. So you're outside of Orangazi's tent right now. Back to the question somebody had asked about the wagons. When you came out, they were gone.
Okay.
So you're standing there by the tents.
Sheldon, did you see where the wagons went? Where they took the wagons? You were waiting outside.
I thought you went in with. You didn't go in with them.
I went with them.
Oh, I thought you were waiting.
No,
Okay.
Everybody.
I didn't want to call attention to me, so I went with you guys. I did the thing.
So. I'm sorry.
No.
You can ask Charlie.
So you're outside of the tents. I think I'm not trying to put words in your mouths, but I think you had left him with the impression that you needed to talk and then come back again. So you don't have to. It's up to you. What do you plan to do?
So we sent off our letter.
I don't know if we should send it off just yet. I think we should wait. Because if they just see just a raising point from us without doing anything specific, it's kind of weird.
Okay. So
It's also you're in the center. You would automatically know this. I'm not giving you too much information. You're in the middle of probably the headquarters area of a large camp. And if you stand there and talk to a bird and then say, "Here, let me tie this on your leg and go," you might.
Yeah.
You would know this, and that's why I'm saying it. You would know that you might draw attention to yourself. You can do it if you want.
Yeah, that's
Vendor.
Alright, so let's go back. We'll go back
We'll
in.
go back and we'll talk to him. We'll settle our deal.
Okay.
And then we'll do what we have to do.
Okay, so you approach the tent again. A guard pauses. He says, as if he's saying, one moment. Another guard goes in. He asks you to wait just a few minutes, and then they escort you in. Oron is standing over the table, looking at it. Yes. What can I do for you?
We'd like to finalize also what we can do for you.
Very well.
As discussed, we are trying to carry through with the Zen's plan. A plan which I believe you were privy to, as is a man inside. If you give us a pathway through your ranks, we can get into the city via our own means, and we can guarantee that the man inside gets the message and the plan settled between him, you, and the Zans goes off all according to plan.
If I know this Bizans, there would have been a code.
The code is the signal.
There would have been a signal.
Yes, sir.
Which you should know.
That would allow my troops to approach and increase the odds of them successfully accomplishing their mission.
Yes.
What is that signal?
Well, let's not. You should know what the signal is.
Very well.
Right? So
Perhaps I do. But why should I trust you?
So when you see the signal,
I think
I'm going to have my troops just standing around waiting.
on an act of good faith, I think we should tell him what the signal is.
I don't think we should tell them what the signal is.
We need to give a reason to be trusted.
We need a reason that we can trust that he will follow the plan.
When he said, perhaps I know the signal, can I try sensing if he knows or not?
Sure. Absolutely.
17.
You're fairly confident that he does.
Okay.
He should know the signal. So when he sees the
He
signal,
does know the signal, but he needs to know that we know the signal. And if we're going to ensure that the Zan's plan goes according to plan, goes accordingly, and get our money, all of it, we need to make sure it happens. The signal
so I'm going to say Baldar, the Raven.
is a raven exploding over the tower.
Very well. And when will this signal take place? You ought to make it happen.
The timeline is not
Depends on our passage to the city.
At the earliest, I would assume tomorrow night.
He pauses, he walks around the table. He seems to be thinking. He goes over and he whispers to one of the troops, or one of the officers there. Is anyone... You see him whispering to one of the officers.
Quiet whisper.
How are you trying to listen?
My ears.
Roll like investigation difficult for you.
Investigation.
What is he talking to?
I was just wondering how loud
Can
he's
I,
whispering.
can I send the Raven over to listen to him?
Well,
16.
I have keen sense.
You don't hear anything.
I wasn't actually trying
Nobody whispers
Can I try
around.
reading his lips?
Do you have that ability?
No.
Is that,
Is there such
Can I send the Raven over without him knowing?
No, I don't.
Tiptoe, like
But I-
tiptoe over.
and you, at a higher level, if you didn't already have it, would probably be an appropriate person to.
Convict can read minds. Where's Convict?
No, I have keen senses. I just don't know exactly what that does.
I think we're.
Yeah, we don't know. I was just
He
kidding.
says, he turns back to you, he says, tomorrow night will work. Very well.
Alright.
We'll arrange passage for you.
Proficiency 1%.
He points to a location on the map. He says, Sahib here will escort you to this location. From there you will have access through the lines. This is the tower. It should take you 10 minutes at the most to get to the tower. They're going to see you all the way there.
The plan isn't to head to the tower. We need access to the city in order to gain access properly to the tower. We have contacts within the city that we need to connect with in order to gain that access to the tower.
So when will the signal of the tower? How will
Well, with your permission now, we can make contact with our contact within the city, and we can plan our entrance into the city.
As we said, the earliest would be tomorrow night. But it may be the next night. It shouldn't take more than 3 weeks at maximum in order to secure everything for the plan. At the earliest, tomorrow.
Very well. As an act of good faith, he turns and he looks over your party. He says, and he points to Simonina and Ambriel. He says, the two of you, stay. Enjoy my company. You will be treated well, while your compatriots take care of their task.
What's your character's name again?
Kip.
Kip for me as well. Or
Just run over you.
He just walks up and is all like, God sent me, and you're like, hey, how's it going?
But you get to stay behind. Okay.
would you allow Kip to remain in your encampment?
He would be welcome to stay.
I will stay.
Very good.
Very well. Tomorrow night we will escort you through the lines. In the meantime, enjoy our hospitality. He turns to one of the officers who escorts you out. I'm sure you get plenty of food or whatever else you want.
So we're gonna find, we're gonna move on. We want to talk to Kip.
Yeah.
Prior to Kip, we need you to find those cards. Okay, you're the ranger. We're hoping that you can get a hold of those cards and make sure that you can take those cards out.
The carts, the two carts.
The card, the one that was holding the.
Do we know what's in the other cart? I
That
guess
was
one
like
was a travel
card was
cart,
his-
right?
Yeah, it was his.
One was more like a glorified Winnipeg.
Right, yeah,
Yep,
that was
okay.
his travel.
Okay, fair enough.
And the other one was clearly a cargo.
Yeah,
Cart.
Okay.
we need you to take out that card. When
So I
the
believe
signal occurs,
when the signal occurs, am I going to have 30 guards to deal with as well? Or are they going to be... Do we have a way to-
Do you remember if it was flammable? Did he do something like that?
I don't remember.
No, he just.
He sniffed it.
Yeah, we just did.
And then he went nuts. I mean, I could sniff it too and go nuts, but...
Well, Embryo is a talented fighter in her own way.
Okay. Oh yeah, because other people are staying with me.
Simonita. They're still with us. They came with us.
Yeah. Seminita Mattias is there. I'm assuming he'll show up when his homework is done.
You have ways to protect yourself. There.
Simonita, you're asking Simonita.
Yeah.
She goes, I'll be alright. Thank you.
I've seen, I believe it's belt. You have.
She seems to.
Magical properties.
She seems to shy away from that conversation. I'm sorry.
It's a useful tool. Can it help anyone other than you while you are using it?
Perhaps.
Can you make someone else disappear as well? Use it to get you and yourself to safety. Or you and someone else to safety.
I try to avoid using this magic. I'm just kidding. Rather not discuss it right now.
I mean, Kip, if you don't want to do this, then you don't have to do it this way.
Well, I'm game. I just wanna. I need
take
to.
that out.
We need to take it out, or we need to just get
We need to take it out. We
Take
need
it
to prevent
down.
them from using it.
like, cause could just like hop on some horses and hightail it out of there.
Yeah, you just need to make it so it's not.
It's not
a threat. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We can do that. Somehow.
Okay.
Sorry. But we can't ignore it. We can't ignore it because no matter how good a trap we set, if they're all popped up cocaine addicts running into the base, like running in after us, we're gonna have to deal with that, you know?
Okay.
But if we can eliminate that.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point,
We can send our letter.
now we send our letter, and we'll wait a response. And hopefully we'll be able to leave.
He's gonna send a raven
Okay.
Let's send it. We'll send our letter to Bali and then wait.
Is there, yeah.
Okay, so it's Friday. It took you a few hours to get into camp. I'm gonna say a few hours have gone by and all this conversations and what have you. It's mid-afternoon, maybe approaching late afternoon. There's still some time till dark. The plan is tentatively, I'm saying this, but it's really a question just to clarify. Tomorrow night, going to try and cross the lines to some place to gain access to the city.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. I would, yeah.
Okay. You released the Raven. The Raven's talking to you. He seems to be going in the right direction. You keep guiding him and guiding him. As he gets to that 100 feet, the signal starts to get kind of scratchy. And he seems to be going in the right direction. And then it kind of breaks up a bit. You say, "I love you, lassie," and the signal drops, or whatever you say.
Go get it done.
Go get it.
I have faith.
Yeah.
And Lassie takes off forward. And if you look, you can see Lassie heading toward the city.
Now we have to wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's enjoy the festivities.
So let's take a stroll around and see if we can locate that cart. Just nonchalantly, you know?
Okay, so you wander around. You're in the headquarters area, and they actually do let you go. You do feel as though you're being watched. It's not like there's a guard around you per se. You think it's probably a combination of one, that you've made a deal that you feel comfortable in, and two, they feel fairly confident in themselves, if that makes sense.
Right. We're not moving around as though we're trying to hide anything. We're just kind of just traveling around and seeing if we can kind of catch a visual of maybe where that cart is. Maybe looking for a place where we can set up camp for ourselves. Obviously, we're going to be here. We need to have some.
We know where
ourselves.
we know where they led the car before we entered the tent, right? So he can probably look for tracks.
Sure. Okay. Well, absolutely. Makes perfect sense.
About 19. Some 19 plus.
What?
Guess it's
is it
investigation.
Investigation. So
It's
20.
investigation.
If it's a ranger, unless you have some other specialized ranger ability,
Are you proficient in
tracking.
Something.
No, face
Heavy
that.
lifting?
Natural explorer.
I don't think you can be proficient in tracking. You can be proficient.
Well, what's your
It would be
investigation?
investigation.
Yeah, investigation's +1.
Plus one?
That's
So
20.
You're
20.
not proficient in investigation.
Just the +1. Yeah,
Okay.
proficient in perception.
20, you find the tracks, they kind of meander a bit, but they seem to head generally toward the front lines. And as you approach the front lines, you come on the siege lines themselves. The siege lines, you're struck as you come out of the encampment, you're struck by the siege lines and their very chaotic pattern. You look around, there are wooden placards in the shape of arrows painted with words, Bu taraful on them. Does anyone speak Turkish? Thaddeus is with you. Or
Is it's Farsi, right?
it's a derivation. Turkish is.
Hey, Maddie,
No,
that's it.
from the
Yes, from
The choice was
it's the
Farsi.
same shop group.
So yes.
Language group. Okay, it means this way to the front.
Okay, that's fine.
And you see that the carts seem to have gone down a very wide trench line toward the front. You continue
So
on?
they're towards the front of the siege lines, and we're at the back of the siege lines right now?
Yes, you are at the back.
Great. The front of the siege line.
That's right. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Just gonna we'll keep going.
Okay,
We're walking freely. If they're letting us walk freely, we're just walking.
You seem to be. You do set. You look behind. You make a pass. It's fairly easy to detect. There's a couple guards. They're not threatening. They're just following. Okay. You come upon a large opening in the siege lines, and there is a set of tents, and there you see the two wagons. You see Kushatsky's wagon, and you see the cargo wagon, and you see his guards. Everyone roll up. You don't need to. At a quick glance, you see Kushatsky. His back is towards you at this moment.
Do we approach? Yes.
It's got meatballs.
He has
Meatballs.
food.
Okay, so you approach him?
Yeah, we'll approach.
Shots me, our friend.
Ah. Alaikum salam. Did your meeting go well?
It did. Thank you.
Very well.
Facilitating such.
We are all in the service of someone else.
What brings you so close to the front line?
I bring inspiration, troops. But I suspect you may be
You've told us.
No more than you mentioned last night.
Yes.
It's a survival role.
Sorry?
Survival role
Survival roll.
for tracking.
Oh, okay. Oh. Okay.
Giant
You wish to
fish.
join me? Are you staying the night in camp?
We are.
To 22 years.
Do you wish to join me for dinner?
Of course.
The spread is not much more elaborate than it was last night.
It was elaborate enough last night.
Very well. He seems to indicate very softly to something, and several guards start to put out a spread for you and for everyone else, for the rest of your party. And he says, "Tell me of your adventures."
Where do we start?
That's the question. Where do we start?
It's interesting. We all come together as, from what I gather, as broken individuals making a team, an alliance together, and somehow it works.
It is odd how individuals come together, is it not?
It is.
Everybody roll a perception check.
8.
16.
15.
Okay, the three of you notice, you can see slightly over the ramparts, and then just beyond, it looks like open terrain, and in the distance, you see that tower, or a tower that looks very similar to that. And then just beyond it, a little bit further, the walls. The terrain between here and that tower, from what you can see, is undulated. Not with cover or concealment per se, but as if there were fields that were once plowed that somebody hastily scavenged crops, somebody hastily tore down any structures, their roots and so forth, as if somebody was trying to clear to make sure that nothing was obstructing their view and what have you.
The tower is a menacing force. How could you possibly inspire men to take off into that field and try to cross that distance with such an obstacle?
Men have many motivations.
What would these men's motivation be? Who do these men fight for?
A lot of these men are mercenaries. Some are loyal. But many do it merely for cash.
Take a lot of inspiration or a lot of coin. Get someone across that open distance. I mean, otherwise it would have been done already, you know?
Osman and Oran, I presume, also allow those who participate in his sieges to have 3 days to reap their benefits and rewards in any city before he takes control of it. Many see opportunity for wealth and other things in doing so.
What wealth lies within that city with those Byzantines?
Well, it is a large city, it's all right. I do not presume to judge their motivations. I merely bring the inspiration.
Do you judge their purpose? Or are you just merely a mercenary just like us?
Yeah, well, I have mine. That's a very deep question. Or, I have my motivations. Yes. Cash is certainly. It is easier to be rich than it is to be poor. But I also think that overall there's some good to be done from this.
Some good.
Yes.
How's it?
Consolidation of power shall bring peace.
To who? Those in power?
It's very one-sided piece. But who am I? Money. As long as it was clean.
The food continues. There's drink if you want it.
Yes. Get lots of drink.
They bring forth drink.
I'm not drunk.
He doesn't mind. It seems somewhat odd to maybe to yourself. Not to the point of overindulgence. And night starts to fall. And what do you do?
We'll start, I guess we're going to break away to our own camp. And I just want to say to him, thank you. But just remember that when you're poor, you also have nothing to lose. And I'm just going to pick up my stuff and start.
Lawrence, you're a philosopher as well. I like you. You pick up your stuff, and do you guys go? They did offer you accommodations.
I didn't know.
Okay.
I thought it was just me.
Not him. The general did.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
We'll
so
take
we'll
off.
return to our accommodations.
Okay.
I didn't realize.
For the day.
Can I see if the cart is, are there horses attached to the cart, or is the cart standing alone?
There is a horse. There are 2 horses. There's one for each cart,
Okay.
and they seem to be off to the side. They're large draft horses.
Okay. Right.
The carts.
That's right.
I don't know what you call them, the rails that would go on either side of a horse. Excuse my ignorance.
Horse yoke, maybe.
Horse yoke. The thing that attaches the horse to the cart are kind of tilted down toward the ground, and the cart is stationary.
I'm just gonna say to Kip before we go, Kip, do not let that car out of your sight. do this for us, complete this for us.
You realize I have one eye, right?
You're more than
Twice as
more than proof your worth. More than proof your worth to us. If you could take care of this thing for us.
All right.
Which means you're sleeping outside tonight. Sorry.
He's missing an eye too.
Oh, are you really?
Ask him where he got his eye patch.
So what happens if you guys shoot
Different
an
universe.
arrow? What do you do? How do you
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Very good at
The
it.
general gives us a tent to.
Yes. He set you up with a tent. There's a couple guards outside. They don't look like they're there to guard you as much as they are ensure that you're
Well,
fine.
No, I would like to. For sleeping, I would like to do a silent prayer
Okay. Is that,
because the city's gonna need it.
okay.
With those guys, I'm keeping silent. But on my mind, I think this guy has to die. This guy has to die.
This guy's gonna die? What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
This guy has to die. This guy has to die.
You're pointing at these guys or
No, the guys we keep meeting.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
He doesn't like any of them.
Yeah.
No,
You're saying the party members?
no.
Okay, the one time I chose not to rage.
That would be the case, though.
But I do want to find out more about Shalom, so as we kind of get into our tents and start to settle down.
Total change of heart over strangers.
I want to ask you, what can you do? What can you bring
Sends me to
to?
the wolves.
What can you bring to us? Like, what can you do?
I assume there are no guards watching us.
There were guards outside of the tent. You're in a large tent. It didn't seem as though they're particularly interested in you any more than just making sure that no one else gets in your way.
I am a former Templar, a former sergeant. And my mission is just protect those in need.
That goes in need. As long as they're Christian. We're all of those in need.
Christians mostly. But God doesn't. We are all children of God.
Not the point about it. That's true. I will agree.
Okay. Balder, you start to see a slight, cackle in your vision.
Hold on.
KROW radio.
Tune into frequency.
Rats.
It's getting dark. Where do I go?
Well, the honeymoon is on.
Where you left off?
I'll just speak with him and bring him over.
He eventually makes his way back in.
The shadow knows.
All right. Take the letter off his foot. Hand
He
it
has
to-
a letter on his foot.
Sweet. Hand it to Jonas.
Says,
More wizard porn.
He's got another page in your Kama Sutra, guys.
I don't think it was volley, but anyway.
No, that was.
That was business.
This is assistant, I believe.
What do we call it? What do we call it?
Okay.
Kama Sutra.
Actually, it might have been.
They're
The
connoisseurs.
Arcana Sutra.
Yes. It's magic porn.
Sorry.
One of my more twisted moves.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Can I even read this? Is it an adventurer's camp? Is it written? Or
What'd you write it in?
Well, I guess Norwegian. Norse. Because that's how he spoke to me last time.
Refresh my memory. What did you write to him?
I mean, actually,
We basically wrote to him that we need safe passage into the city. We have important information for you.
Secret safe passage in the city. So not like open.
And we asked him to reply with how he's going to go about getting us in. We let him know we're already going to be able to get past the Turks.
He writes to you. Boulder, greetings. It is great to hear from you. All is well here. The city is well fed. We can stand out for a very long time. How to get you into the city? That is very complicated. It is completely surrounded.
But we put in our letter that we
When-
need to- right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we told him that we'll be able to get through the Turks.
It is, if you tell me where and when, I will ensure that our troops do not fire upon you. Again, I hope you are well.
Alright.
We had asked him where and when, and where to go, and when.
Well, now we have the answer, which is anywhere we, I guess. Was there, can we see any, how many gates are there to the city? Is it just the one?
No, it's a fairly large city,
Okay, so
but
just
there's
pick a gate.
very interspersed towers that are extended outward. Okay, so you pick a
We're looking
gate.
something in the rear, on the opposite side
opposite of the tower.
of the main tower. Something on the opposite side
It's
of
a
the city.
huge city. You'd have to go all the way
Right.
to the other side of the city.
Right.
Now,
We're not expected until
Tomorrow night.
Well, you have to
So,
tell Oran where he's letting you through.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you write another letter, and you tell him.
Guess we have to.
rear gate, rear, I guess.
East
Just one of the further ones. It doesn't necessarily have to be the rear most, but something
I
on
mean,
the
the
opposite
city's
side.
surrounded. So, but okay. So you're opposite of the one.
Yeah.
180 degrees out from the one. That's in
The
Yeah.
south gate.
At least 120 degrees now.
The west gate.
You know,
Got it.
It's gotta be out of sight, it's gotta be out of sight of that main tower.
Okay, understood. So the letters exchange. Now that Lassie knows where to go, Lassie zips back and forth, and it seems relatively expeditious. He says, very well. Boulder, very well. Tomorrow night, at that gate, in 200 yards either side of that point of this gate, you shall have access. Do not venture from there. They will shoot anyone who tries to make it through. Be careful. 300 feet in from the siege lines, there is a large trench, 10 feet wide and 15 feet deep, filled with spikes. If you fall in it, well, you get the idea.
Alright.
At that point, crawl down in, make your way through, and then crawl back up again.
So no horse.
Sounds good.
So no horse.
We got our way in. Let's. And what time is it now? Is it still night now?
It's nighttime. It's nighttime.
So we have a
It's
day to get
getting
there.
pretty late because that whole process.
Okay.
We have a day to get
So
there.
let's take a rest.
Okay, so the day, the night actually passes uneventfully. I assume you guys set up a guard, a watch.
Yeah.
But, okay, I'm not going to make the roll cons because even if you fall asleep, none for that. Morning comes, what are you doing?
Alright.
So
We're gonna let them know we have our way. What should we tell them?
We have our access to the city, we can tell them where an alliance to let us through.
Yeah. So let's just let them know that we feel like we'll be.
We can show them on the map exactly where.
We feel like out of the sight of the tower, it would be
So
safe.
you go back to Oran, you discuss it, you wait, he waits, you have to wait a few minutes, you meet with him. He says, why here?
That's where we can gain access with our contact. Safest route of entrance into the city.
Very well. Tomorrow night, at what time? Sunset?
Sunset.
Tonight.
Tonight. He nods to a few of the others. They take several troops with them and accompany you around the lines over the other side. Or whenever you're ready to go over the other side. Okay.
Ready? We're headed out?
Yep.
Okay.
Tom, can you describe the area around the carts for me? Am I gonna like see what?
Sure. There are a set of trenches. They look kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably dug maybe 5 feet deep to sometimes 6 to 7 feet deep to the actual surface of the ground. In some areas, there's a step where you see archers just looking over the edge. And in where you are, it's like trenches come in, and then it's like a large opening. And then the trench continues to the front line, which is not very far away. And then there are 2 other, so almost like 4 spokes on a large hub going off. And those trenches seem to go to other trenches. But the rest of it is very chaotic. It doesn't seem very organized. It seems intentionally somewhat chaotic.
Okay. And the carts are in the center of that?
Yes.
Is there
almost
like,
as if it were a point of distribution or something like that.
Sure. And then is there like a camp spot around where they were, you know?
Well, he was camping himself right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very large opening in the trench. It's not an opening, it's a very large compound in the center of the trenches, which is part of the trench network itself, if you will. And where it's his large circular areas submerged down the ground. He has his own tent. Sagi has his own tent, and then he has his 2 wagons. That makes sense.
Yeah. Is there like campfires outside and things like that?
You would have a couple campfires. They
or
probably
something?
wouldn't be massive
Sure.
or anything like that.
Okay.
You do see up near the walls there are smudge pots intermittently placed where it appears as though an archer would dip his arrow in just to cast flaming arrows into the air.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, right, we're traveling to the front line and to get our passage, right?
Okay, the rest of the day you make your way around the trenches. You seem, it's pretty consistent in this chaotic nature of the trenches. You make your way all the way around to the other side of the city. It seems as though both sides have cleared away stuff around the city in an effort to, 1, prevent stuff from getting in, and also for those inside to have clear fields of fire for anyone trying to get in. And you're on the other side. When you get over there, you see that there are multiple archers leaning up against the walls. And while you're waiting there for, I assume, the sun to set, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. While you're waiting there for the sun to set, throughout the afternoon and evening, there's a constant exchange of arrows back and forth from the very front lines as they bring you up to the front lines themselves. It's very intermittent, it's kind of chaotic, it's not like individuals are charging out in the open, but like everyone's constantly testing one another, if you will. In the distance beyond the farthest trenches, as the sun sets, you hear the sounds of spades and scraping earth, perpetual arrow shots, and the occasional cries of pain and whimpering out in the no man's land. As you walk by one area, you note that the Turks appear to be digging their trenches closer and closer to the city walls. The Ottoman and Byzantine archers continuously exchange sporadic fire in an effort to keep each other on guard. Making your way to the very front line, you wind through a complicated and intricate maze and web of trenches. In several extensions, you note tunnels descending into the earth gently. The trenches come to an end. About a half dozen or so troops lean against the outer wall and in niches dug into the trench itself. Another half dozen archers lean against the farthest wall and periodically dip arrows into flaming smudge pots and then lazily fire the arrows into the sky. The arrows burn brightly, arc through the sky, and then descend beyond sight, and you suspect extinguish. Near you, 2 loaded heavy ballista are positioned in niches in the walls. An Ottoman leans against the outer wall, carefully peering through a box-like structure that he holds to his face. The box extends upward and over the trench wall. Though not looking at him, the Ottoman with the box appears to be talking to another Ottoman next to him. The second Ottoman leans heavily against the outer wall. He has the largest crossbow you have ever seen. He coolly and dispassionately looks in your direction. wait for nightfall?
He said,
Yeah.
his message said nightfall.
We'll wait for nightfall, maybe make small talk with soldiers.
The one who accompanied you up there, he nods to the others. They put their arrows down. The arrows stop arcing toward the enemy, or toward the Byzantine fortress.
And it's nightfall at this point. Okay, we're gonna make our approach, and we have to make our approach to that first trench. Right? Climb down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a visual of the entrance that we discussed?
Yes, it's fairly far away, but you do.
Right, but we can see, so we can
Yeah,
stay
it's
within
probably-
that 200 meter, right, it's a 200 meter range in there. We have to
Yeah,
do that.
you probably should not have a problem. Even in the darkness, you note the ground is rutted and uneven, as if crews hastily cleared areas of trees, bushes, and anything that might obstruct vision. You're moving at normal speed, or
You're not like,
you're not running?
no, we're moving.
Okay.
We have to be careful with the other
Right.
trench.
Yeah, we're moving as fast as we can, being careful of the trenches and
The-
the
the-
terrain.
The trench he wanted us about.
Yes. Okay.
We're
So
looking for that.
Yeah,
you're pacing it out. Everyone roll, because you have awareness, a dexterity check with advantage.
So I could be.
Ooh, natural 20.
Ooh, you have
That
no
is
problem.
after we talk with Bali
Dexterity?
and let him know there's a traitor in the
Yes.
mist,
This is
and set up a plan for how
that's
we
a
21
saving
set that
throw.
signal off and then still be ready
Okay, so.
Oh, no,
just
I-
regular.
you have
Just
to
regular.
out.
18.
until they're
Activity.
distracted.
11 and
With
Balder
actually attacking.
Roll.
Thanks.
with advantage. D20 add your dex bonus.
20.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. Who's next to you? Anybody? Who's next to?
Oh, I don't know what the marching order was. We didn't really discuss.
Yeah.
Somebody pick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'll let you roll an acrobatics check to try and catch him.
19 plus 4. 19 plus 20.
23.
23.
Okay, you feel as you're walking across, you feel the ground start to give way, and then he reaches and grabs hold of you before you start to slip down through. You've come upon an area where there are clearly there's something that's been man-made laid across the ground in an effort to obscure a large trench.
Oh, thank you.
Seems you found the trench.
Found the pit. I really gotta stop walking into these things.
Alright.
Alright,
We'll climb down slowly.
Let's, yeah, make our way
Okay.
there.
Everybody roll an acrobatics check with advantage. And then just a second one to cross. So you're climbing
19.
down in and then crossing.
19.
So,
16.
how many times?
Twice.
So,
So you both times with advantage.
13 and
19 on the first, 10 on the second one.
Okay.
19 on the second one.
Okay. So your first one with advantage was 19. Your second one with with advantage was a 10.
Yes.
And
13 on the first one and a 19 on the second.
okay. So you accidentally slip as you're making your way through the things, and you take 3 points of damage on one of the spikes as you start to fall. And yourself, you slip, and you take 2 points of damage on one as you start to fall. You guys,
16, 13.
you're good. 13, you slip, and you take 4 points of damage as you start to fall on a large spike. What'd you roll?
11 and 13.
Oh, that sucks. Sucks for you.
Yeah, not the most
Okay.
dexterous.
No, but you rolled low. You only took 3 points of damage by landing on 2 spikes. You're like slipping and falling as you make your way through this trench. It was deliberately designed to slow movement. Okay, you climb and you make your way up the other side, and you see approximately 100 feet in front of you, the opening.
Alright.
There's a gate that is open. You see multiple guards at the gate with arrows at the ready and several with swords.
Yeah, you wanna approach him?
Yep. We walk right up.
They hastily grab you, pull you in, slam the doors shut. Bolly is there.
Father!
Big hugs.
Greetings. You'll have to excuse me. Friend, he's talking to endorsed, at least initially. Not everyone in the city is as trusting as I am.
Understandably.
So, they're going to ask you to sheathe your weapons for now. We're not going to take them. But they want to know why you're here.
Thomas, the letter?
Present the letter.
Bali, this,
Who knows?
right now, this stays.
There's a lot of guards right there and what have you.
We're not going to announce it out loud. We're just going to say, you know,
This is
for him to read.
of the utmost importance.
Just
We're not going to say. We're not going to say what it
Can
says.
you read it?
I don't know. Well, I'll let him decide.
Yes, it's written in date. It's written in Norse.
Oh,
Sure. Yes, that's
Well,
very
that's
Norse looking.
yeah.
That is Norse.
Maybe, yeah.
I think,
Yes,
I think,
Oh, that's right, 'cause it's going
Yes,
for
I'm
free.
with you.
Right, because it's written for free. That makes sense. So he needs to have been in free.
That was like, I wrote it.
I'm
I
pretty
can't
sure-
verify.
I just thought of that
I'm pretty
also.
sure he handed it to you like that, and then when I said I could read it, he
Yeah, he
told me to
flipped
flip it over.
That's true, yeah.
Okay. Please, let us go find a quiet place to discuss this. You know that these individuals will be standing by should you have some ulterior motive.
As long as you trust them, you trust them.
Very well.
Friend. Let's go.
It takes you back to the inn of the soldier's wet dream.
Alright.
It takes you a little while
My
to
favorite word.
meander through, rather buxom. As you make your way through the city, you see that every corner and plot of land in the city has been turned into farmland, pasture for animals, and what have you, as if anything outside has been transported inside in an effort to sustain themselves. It appears as though that there have been multiple new wells dug, but every indication as you're walking through is that they are fairly well fed and well provisioned at this point. You make your way to the inn. We'll pause there. What are you doing?
So just to be clear, like these trenches that branch off this center alcove, there's archers within the trenches.
Yeah.
So-
They're not really in the passageways. They're on the front trenches, but not in the passageways. No.
Oh, okay.
But they are right around in that center. Kushatsumi Kasagi has his own troops to guard his own wagons.
Okay. So the wagons are being guarded by soldiers.
Yes,
And
his
then-
soldiers.
Okay. How far away are the archers from the wagons?
The traditional troops that are up at the front line are probably another 50 to 75 feet, depending on which trench you take, to the front line. So you have the headquarters down here, with the trenches meandering. You have this enclave in which Kusachmi has set up his distribution point, if you will. And then the trenches continue up to the front lines. And then there are the front lines themselves where there are archers continuously shooting at the city
Right. Okay.
and exchanging fire with each other.
Yeah.
And it's more harassment type
Sure.
fire than
Yeah.
actually achieving anything.
Are the archers within shooting distance of the carts?
Yes,
If
if
they
they
were to
had
fire.
lineups, if they were to fire. But you also know that just looking at the trenches, they're about 5 to 7 feet deep. So
So they're
pretty
shooting
much
out of the
shooting-
trenches without line of
you'd
sight.
have to,
That's the plan.
if you shoot, if they were to shoot back at Kushatsumi's area,
Mhm.
they would be shooting from the front back to that area, basically blind, unless they made their way through. But they positioned themselves not really to protect the interior. Their goal is pretty clearly to keep eyes on anybody beyond and keep anybody beyond from keep their head down, so to speak.
Right. Okay.
We gave you ask.
Well, I'm trying to figure out like if there's a way that I can. Well, you know, I mean. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like, can I perceive or plan a way of being able to go to where the archers are and be able to fire an arrow back at the caravan, at the wagons. Is that like, can I see if that's possible?
I'm not too good with that.
Uh,
How do I do it?
roll a perception check with advantage.
A 4-inch diameter sphere of energy.
So that'd be 17.
88 damage.
Perception?
Yes.
20.
Okay. You are utterly convinced that you could. The question in your mind becomes, because it's basically a blind shot.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a
As a ranger and as an archer, you could pace out the distance from the Kushatsky's enclave to the front line and pretty much have a sense of how to position your arrow, because you're an archer, to get it into that area. But what it would hit,
Right.
because it's a blind shot, you know in your mind would probably be a crapshoot.
Right.
Because you're not actually, you can't see it unless you climb out of the trench up onto the ground on either side of the trench, and then of course everybody can see what you're doing.
Yep.
And even then, you may not see exactly what you need. I don't know what you're looking to hit or do. But even then, it's a little bit of a blind shot.
Right.
Perhaps not as much. You might see the top of the carts from that point.
Right. But to hit the cart would be very difficult.
Well, if you were up on top of the trench,
Yeah.
you could probably see the top of a cart and maybe do so.
Okay.
Probably do so.
Is there
But
any?
you also know that you so would everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Is there any area where maybe archers are training or target practice or anything in the area that?
You haven't seen it yet,
Okay.
but just your natural sense of things would be probably they wouldn't do it right at the front line.
Right. Okay. So I guess right now I'm just kind of trying to look around the area and trying to come up with a plan.
Okay. Okay. Back to you guys. You are in. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. No, I don't want to stop you.
We're in the tavern.
Ready? We're in the tavern now?
They can only be two types of magic, two classes. Oh, that's right. Evocation and adjuration or abjuration. But evocation is the one that is group. It's the one that affects all
Oh, that
people.
was
Yeah, that's the one that
Abjuration is the one that affects me.
yeah. So like these.
So Bali, we intercepted this letter meant for Raiders' eyes.
Yes, obviously.
Our intention is to, I guess, smoke the rat out of the hole, basically.
Make one attack.
And you believe it's genuine?
It is genuine.
It's not bad.
Where did you get it from?
Do you have Bali's head? Do you have Bizen's head still?
Yeah, we still have.
Okay, can we take it out of the bag?
Yeah, well,
Oh, wait.
Here you go.
This is Bizen's.
Ah, CDSLB, isn't he?
Yeah.
What to his face?
Yeah,
Oh, melted like. But anyway,
Sometimes we play with our food.
okay.
well, that wasn't us.
Right.
That, you're not wrong.
Right.
Well, if this is true, it's very bad news indeed. Know that Fort Raider is very well respected.
But if he was to be
Even
caught
after
in
something
the
like
act,
Well, I mean, anyone caught in the act. I mean, if you were diddling my wife and I caught you in the act, yeah, I'd probably not be very happy with you.
so our plan is to allow him to be caught in the act. And what we need are some troops on standby ready.
Well, troops on standby. We have lots of troops. I mean,
Okay.
most of them are drunk at the moment, but I mean, yes.
What are your thoughts, Bali?
Well, I So, you want troops, and you're going to make some signal, according to that letter, and then what, the troops run up there?
Well, we catch Parader in the act, seize him, arrest him, kill him, whatever, and then we set a trap. And if you haven't noticed, that army outside your gates is growing every day.
Well, we're pretty well positioned here.
For how long, Bali?
For now.
They're not going anywhere. They're digging in deeper. In fact, they're digging tunnels towards your city as we speak. It's only a matter of time before they're underneath me.
How did they agree to let you through?
Well,
we acted as Bazan's
Employees.
envoys. We convinced them that we were going to help carry out this plan.
So what happens?
they're expecting to see the plan.
They're expecting to attack the city in the coming days under the guise of an ambush in an unsuspecting city.
Do you promise to help them?
We told them we would. We're not going
Then
to.
what happens when you don't?
We're hoping it's too late for them.
We were hoping to catch them by surprise.
Another round! We're going to need it!
Thank you, Stu.
Yes, this might be their last drink.
The idea is to give them the impression that
God will
the gates
protect
are
us.
opening for you.
And when you fail miserably, and you join us in perpetuity here, because you can't go running back out through those lines saying, I'm sorry, we failed. Ah! Yes, very good. I like it. To hell with it. Throw your swords, kill them all.
We're going somewhere.
So we allow them to think that the plan is going through, we allow them to think that the gates have been left wide open, and then once they find themselves trapped in no man's land,
Your archers pick off
we
most of
unload
them.
on them.
I like it. Very much so. I feel sorry for you, though.
Why is that?
How do you get out?
We fight.
We drive them back, and then this won't be a problem for anyone.
Good point. Will we take all of Anatolia? Just, I can't count this. Whatever it is.
Well, we have a full army behind you.
We have all of your men.
This is true.
And let's face it, you have warriors.
Yes.
They have
Well,
boys and stars out there. Well, Bali, we would like to possibly see you in charge.
No, thank you. I wouldn't want to be in charge of this rabble.
Do you have anyone that you would consider to be in charge? Just once Parader is gone.
There's not be a
Parader is right now only in charge of that tower. He put himself in charge, but he was in charge of the entire sector. And he put himself in charge of the tower.
in order to betray you.
Well, now that makes sense, and I understand that, but it didn't seemed indifferent to it at the moment. I mean, after all, who would want to be out there?
Probably someone looking to betray.
Yeah.
So, what do you want from me?
We need you to be ready with your men
How will
to
you?
witness, or we're going to witness
The betrayal, and to act upon the ambush, to ambush the ambushers.
Very well.
and then
How
fight.
will I know when to initiate this?
Exploding raven.
We're going to send off the signal.
Yes.
We'll send off the signal. That will.
You will give me some signal to
This
what?
signal
Charge.
put your men in position.
Why don't we just put more men in the tower? Oh, because that's right. You want to catch him. That's right. Disregard. We need to catch him in the act.
We want to attack Parader in the act of opening the
we need men to be able to witness this.
He's not going to be able to open the city gates.
According to his plan, he must have some way.
You've read the note?
Look at it.
He's going to open up some form of gate. Whether it's the tower, or what have you, we are not certain.
Yes, it's unclear. How do we open the gates to the city from the tower?
Perhaps he'll man inside.
I imagine that he's free passage between the tower and the gate.
Well, it's just because the enemy archers can't really hit them.
So he has free passage.
Very well.
Maybe the guys on the other side have a way to opening the gate. And when the signal is sent, Farade is just gonna stop shooting the enemy army and let them pass.
Very well. I'll have troops ready near the main gate to go to the tower. We just need to know when. I can't leave them sitting there all the time. But give me some idea. I understand that you may not know when.
You send first a small firework.
Well, you went there at nighttime,
Then
so
the
it
big
would probably be pretty late still at night.
I don't know necessarily how to do it.
How much time would you need for your trip?
A day would be sufficient.
If
If you're ready in a day.
we will be ready.
They could be ready, absolutely.
Very well.
Yeah.
We need to communicate with your troops, and then we needed to set up some sort of troops in the shadows or some hidden fashion so that when he does release control of the gates open, presumably that he's caught.
Well, if he sees the signal, and you see the signal, and he heads to open the main gates, or get the main gates open.
What signal are we talking about? My signal? His signal?
We have a universal
It's a universal signal.
Okay.
The signal.
Another round.
Another round.
To the signal. Everyone, to the signal.
The signal to initiate the plan, to move the Turks into position for Byzance to open the gate is an explosion of a magical raven above the tower.
Very impressive.
Yes.
It reminds me, Boulder, you remember seeing Odin's hammer strike at one of the ceremonies and all the lightning bolts setting forth?
I do.
It fried a young lass's hair that I was with. It didn't seem to bother her later.
Where's
There
Odin?
was a bit less to hold on to, if you know what I mean. Another round! Yes, very well.
So this will be the signal for everything to begin.
Okay. Exploding bird.
Yes. Raven.
Raven. Yes, that's what you said. Very well. When we see the exploding raven,
Well, you'll know when we're.
do what?
You'll know when the signal is going to take place. So you'll have an idea.
Is it possible for you to send some of your troops to the tower, knowing that they should take the tower over from the other guys?
Make my head spin, sir. You want me to send more troops to the tower? Paraders in charge of the tower. I don't think he's going to allow me to send.
We're waiting on the behind main
I
gate.
send more troops to the tower to do what?
Because they're gonna stop. What we think is they're gonna stop shooting the enemy army,
Who is?
the Faradis soldiers.
Oh. Okay.
So if your guys are inside there, inside the tower,
We don't know that, but it might be a safe assumption to assume that Freighter's men are also, yes. Because how else would the Turks know to advance and be able to advance unless the Catholics
They're going to see the signal.
Yeah. Yes.
They advance on the signal.
Yes,
And
but
then-
what happens means that the archers at the tower are not fired.
Right.
It is clear, which means that further men are probably also in. I think that's the safe assumption. So we're
I'm
not
not sure I can get troops into the tower.
We're gonna have to take that out.
I think it's more safe to have your troops behind the 90 gates.
Rather than behind the main gates without any problem.
Right.
I would need a reason, probably
So
without an attack. Drill probably fits the drill. And perhaps that might be something unusual, but let me think on that one. But we can definitely, you said tomorrow night, have the troops ready, yes. Sure, another round. The waitress brings over another round. Okay.
I can choose another round.
yeah. Well, I don't drink,
I'm sorry.
so I'm going to the temple.
I will.
This is very wise, now. I forget your name, but very wise.
I'll go to the temple.
Can you tell him that?
No, but I excuse myself and I'm going to the temple.
Okay.
And
So you make your way through, you had passed one coming from one side of the town. You had passed several coming from one side of the town, so you easily know where they are in the center of the city. What are you doing?
So I'm trying to figure. Can I walk close to the cart? And I'm assuming there's guards around the carts.
Yeah, I mean they're not like right up against it, but there's about
There's not somebody guarding the cart
about
specifically.
2 dozen guards in that area.
Yeah. Can I?
And it looks like the same troops you had seen before.
Okay. Can I target one that is like guarding the cart specifically and ask him for a smoke?
Smoke. He looks
Like
at
a-
you strange.
Yeah, like a pipe or or a cigarette, like whatever. Yeah, no, like a pipe.
I'm sorry.
Hobbit weed.
does he have a nargile?
I'm sorry?
Nargile?
Oh, a water pipe?
Yeah.
Yeah, hookah, exactly.
There's one thing.
Yeah, you got a hookah.
Let me get that stuff.
You might get one of those. But
You see some guards over by fire that have what appears to be a large water pipe with some type of tobacco
Like tobacco in it. Yeah, can I go over there and ask for some and see if I can
with a roll.
share that with them? Yeah.
Ah, greetings. Very well. He offers you some.
Thank you.
She says you wish to join.
I would, yes, very much.
They go around. They seem pleasant enough. They had seen you. They know you. They don't know you, but they recognize you. And
Just want
in
to.
very broken adventurers camp, because they don't speak it very, very well.
Sure.
Does anyone ever say
What brings you here?
Money. Adventure.
Is even a weapon?
Yeah, what brings you?
Same. Do you have families? Like, I'm sure you do.
He's a British
The
farmer.
best.
No.
There's one.
Yeah. A mercenary camp is my family.
Well, then you are in a good camp. There are a lot of mercenaries here.
Kind of want to ask them about, are they ready for the battle? Are they looking forward to it?
Well, we don't fight in the battle.
But no, you're right.
If we are, we probably fail. Our goal is to guard Eric, who shot me and his inspirational items.
Excellent. How does this whole inspiration system work? I'm curious.
Oh,
If I have to partake in a battle, I'd like to know how I'm going to be inspired.
are you going to be one of those to go over the trench and attack the walls?
Potentially.
Then I'm sure you receive inspiration.
Indeed.
Many will. It will encourage you to fight stronger, and you will have such sense. You will almost hear them all.
Is this
Though some collapse immediately.
collapse immediately? Okay.
Very few. Normally those weak. But you do not look weak.
The surroundings of this camp that these guys are sitting around and we're talking and smoking, are there like areas where you could sit, or rocks, or like haystacks or anything?
Not really. There might be some haystacks for the horses, sure, but there's not real rocks. They've kind of cleared it out for passage in between everything. I mean, it's not a permanent fortress. It's
Sure.
just quickly dug and it's constantly being improved, but it's not a vinyl floor.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just trying to identify if there's a way that I can get some hay closer to the wagon.
Well, you see the two large draft horses off to one side, and they have a mound of hay broken up that they seem to be occasionally imbibing in, and when they're not, they're just kind of standing there and sleeping upright, whatever horses do
Sure.
when they're not pulling stuff.
Does there seem to be some hay that like is around the cart, or can I?
There might be a few strands and so forth, but there's not like a large clump of it. It looks like it was decisively put to keep the horses over in one area.
Okay, and the horses are away from the cart, or are they just
They're not right next to it.
Right next to
They're probably about 20 feet away. Not
Okay.
real far.
Sure. Okay.
So back to the party. You're inside. And anything else that night?
Right.
More
He's good
drinks.
at that.
Yeah.
Alright, more drinks go round, says Paulie. And
We are.
Just trying to catch the damn car on
if you'll
fire.
excuse me, I have to go
Like basically.
advise those above me of this activity. I'll be back though. And if I have any more questions, will you be here?
We will. And we're gonna stay.
Very well.
We're gonna stay. Yeah.
He goes over and he says, "This is arranged on us. Don't worry about it." And he goes over to the barkeep and he makes some arrangements with them. They nod knowingly. And he departs. Okay?
Just gonna say we need to stay on guard tonight. We need to be ready tonight.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So what did you do? Set us up the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you need
After he leaves, I wanna book the room next to it. Just like putting some stuff right here. So we're gonna see if we can book an adjacent room as well.
Okay.
No, it's just I want to think that we're in one room, but we're in another room.
Truck off. So how many rooms?
So he booked a room for us, or
Yes,
right?
one
So
message, two
one
rooms.
room adjacent to it, we're gonna book that one as well.
Okay. So just truck off another 2 rolls.
I'm so bad at keeping track of my notes.
I'm gonna,
I don't have enough to
before we turn in, what time is it? What time?
9.
It's
You don't
now
need money?
probably, I mean,
You
there's
don't
no
need money?
clocks per se, but it's probably like what we
Is
would
that like your
consider
relief?
10,
That's why you
11
don't
o'clock
have
at
money?
night.
Okay. So we're gonna go into the room, not the room that he booked for us, but the other room.
Very
You
well.
gotta roll down to find out how much money you get.
Alright? Are we resting, or we got anything else we need to do?
Resting.
Did Shalom ever come back? Has he come back yet?
I went to the temple.
Shalom.
Yeah. Would you have returned?
Okay, so what are you doing?
It's the Hospitallers
Oh, shalom.
temple, or just a regular Christian temple?
Roll a
Shalom, my God.
roll an investigation check.
Did you tell any of us you were going?
I think he did.
Yes, I said.
I'm gonna head to the temple as well.
Okay. Now there's a center of the town where there's multiple temples. Well, multiple.
Okay, well, I'll head to, I guess, to the center.
3?
Yeah.
You have a tough time finding a hospital. You find several traditional
Christian temples.
Orthodox churches.
Okay.
You don't find a Catholic. You find, and you do. What are you looking for? Saturday, I presume?
Well, I'm assuming that there aren't specific.
Well, an investigation check, difficult. Or with a disadvantage, rather.
With disadvantage?
Yes,
Charlie.
Oh,
17. Actually, that's actually
stay up here on my horse. There's dangers down there.
So I don't know. I don't.
You don't.
There's
Yeah,
random numbered
You
stones.
You don't find one. You see a temple to Saint Sophia, which is the closest thing that sounds like Saturday.
Okay. And this is in the center square where there's a.
Yeah, it's like a center part of town, not really a square. There are multiple squares throughout the city,
Right.
but
But there's multiple churches here?
Yep.
Okay, do I see any indication?
roll an investigation check. I would say also with disadvantage. Because you're like going in and out of buildings and it's dark.
Yeah.
Not that you're hiding.
4!
We are both lost.
You don't see them. Well, you're not lost. It's kind of hard to get lost. But
I have too many options right now. Kind of.
what do you mean? I don't understand. the question.
There are too many temples, and I can find the
Well,
one
you
I'm
don't
looking
find
for.
one that's a hospitality.
Yeah.
And it's dark. It's night.
Yeah.
You roll that.
Yeah. So really bad.
Okay, so the night passes uneventfully. You wake up the next morning.
And that's the second time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't get attacked by wolves.
I know. I was afraid of it. I wanted to go in a different bedroom and use the wolves attacked the one that they thought I was going to be in.
Ouch! Okay. And now wolves attack.
I knew it!
They were waiting outside.
Right as the sun starts to rise.
And what is that creature the kid slams on the table? And the
Demogorgon.
Demogorgon!
Tetrahydra.
Okay, the morning comes. Balder comes in looking at, not Balder, I'm sorry. Bolly walks in a little worse for wear. Good morning! Everything will be alright tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, are you ready?
I wouldn't say
Well,
that's
we'll
the
have-
word for it.
I don't remember what we talked about.
What size force are you talking about?
Yeah.
We need 8 out of the gate.
We can have probably
Wait, what
2
was the
dozen
plan?
troops immediately available, about half of them archers, but also able to fight if need be. Which is just a bit confusing as to what the plan is. So we see a signal, the bird explodes. I can't wait to see that.
Raider at that point.
And then we do what? We charge.
No charging.
Raider will open the gate.
We'll catch him in the act.
And at that
Open the
point,
gate.
he's going to open the gate, and
That's his
then,
plan.
the Turks are
The
going
Turks
to
will march in,
will march
thinking
in.
they can easily capture the town.
Okay.
And we
At that point, we
surprise
take
them.
Raider and
Kill
exercise,
them all.
allow the Turks into the kill zone, and then we unleash on them.
Well, we'll have more guards standing by
Right.
on the ramparts.
Yes.
But in terms of a ready reaction, we'll have
We will unleash fire from above and take out as many as we
Capture
can.
Raider, who's revealed as a traitor. And
I hope so.
we,
Excellent.
I'll make sure.
deal with.
Is there anything else you do before overnight?
No, not overnight. I just kind of sit there and start talking to myself.
Okay.
Can it be done?
Okay, the guards, they seem to take turns. About a quarter of them lay down, go to sleep, while some of them remain up, and then they seem throughout the night to exchange watches,
Sure.
and then continue.
These these smudge pots, are they in the area where we're at as well?
Not where you are. Those were up near the front lines.
There's no like people carrying them from one end to the other or anything like
You
that.
might see occasional. I mean, they're not lit as they're being carried up, but you might see people carrying them, or you might even see a cart going through on occasion. With
Is there
pots.
a way that if one's going near the cart that I can knock it over? On accident?
One's going near their cart.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. So if I see one going near the cart, I'd like to like bump into the folks carrying those and see if it can kind of spill all over the ground.
Okay.
I mean, right under the wagon.
Right under the wagon is super convenient. That's kind of what I'm going for, but you know. Well, I got my pipe.
Okay.
And I'm talking to myself, you know.
Excuse me, sir. Okay, roll a d20.
Just use your beer mug and get a bunch of
14.
Okay. Roll a d12.
Ooh. Look at that.
Can I give him inspiration to roll
I'm sorry?
Look at him.
Around 5 in the morning,
Right on mine.
shortly before sunrise, you see what looks like a glorified wheelbarrow. An individual coming through, and on it appear to be stacked. You're guessing maybe a dozen sponge pots on it in ceramic pots, and he's got it by the back. It has one wheel at the front, and he's making his way past. Roll another d20, please.
Still smoking from the pipe.
Okay,
Or
it is
choking.
approximately. What'd you roll? A
10, yes.
Yeah, I'm inspired to roll it.
Okay.
Can I get it?
Sure. I'll let it go. Sure.
12.
Okay, so
Who's got the
your
black
call
leg
on the
over
roll, it was either 10 or 12 feet from the wagons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the 10 feet would be.
Okay, so it's 10 feet from the wagons. The wheelbarrow's about 2.5 to 3 feet wide, by about, you're guessing, about another 3 to 4 feet long. With the arms extending out another 3 to 4 feet beyond it. About 10 feet from the wagons.
It's just sitting there? Or
No,
somebody's wheeling it, right?
He's wheeling it through the circuit for the front line.
Sure. Can I stop him? And, hey!
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay, that'll count. What is that, 14?
14.
Just 14.
What's the roll?
Just 14.
14? He says, what? What can I do for you?
Just checking to see where you're going.
To the front, of course.
Okay. You look tired. Or can I see it? Does he look tired?
It's kind of dark.
Yeah.
He looks kind of like, okay.
Yeah. I was about to venture out to the front line. If you'd like, I could take that for you.
Oh, it's okay. You can accompany me.
Okay. Are you sure? Because you know, there's some there's a nice campfire over there. There's some tobacco over there, and you know, I'm more than happy to just take this on my
Roll a
hands.
persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh, a 1. Yes, yeah, I could do that.
Sure.
That would be a 5.
He's like, oh, I could get in very bad trouble. But thank you. If you wish to accompany me, sir, I can show you where we will attack.
Okay. Yeah, then I will accompany him.
Okay. The wheelbarrow weaves its way through the trenches.
I'll accompany you.
Exactly.
You're making your way through an area, the two of you. It's kind of winding. In between. So right now it's just the two of you making your way toward the front.
Okay.
What?
The coughing.
Are you? I just want to ask, like, is he just restocking these, or like, does he grab empty pots and bring them on the way back to refill them?
We go through it often.
Excellent. Then I'd offer to help him, bring back the empty pots
Very well.
when we get there.
Very kind of you, sir.
I just want to feel useful.
Very well. There's lots of pots that need cleaning too. Have you had the food? I don't think they ever clean the pots.
It's the same as these sludge pots.
I'm only interested in the flammable sludge.
Yeah.
So he makes his way up. You see archers on the walls. There's clusters of them, and they seem to have ones they exchange with. And he goes around. He picks up the empty pots, puts them down, puts down fresh ones.
Okay. Can I guess just pick them up, put them on the cart with him.
Sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay.
It doesn't turn down.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess we head back. I imagine. When the cart's full.
He kind of he weaves his way through a section of the cart, through the section of the trench, and then he starts making his way slowly back.
Okay. Do you do this often, like all night long, or are you going to bring other batches? Is this routine? Sure.
Siege lines are huge.
Sure. Okay. Then I'll just help accompany him back. And when I guess when we get to the cart area, I'll just let him know. Thanks for your company. And stay safe.
Okay. You too. Have a good night. Thank you for your help.
Same to you.
He makes his way, continues on through. Okay. Anything else? So the sun starts to rise.
Yeah. When I'm surrounded by siege lines.
Okay.
I'll just keep my eye out for if he returns, if he comes back through.
Okay. And you guys in the city, the day starts to pass uneventfully. There's coughing and hacking in the pub.
Yeah.
People
The night previous, when I found the non-financial on the streets, I went into the church and prayed to
Okay.
Sister
In case you missed it, I boarded it again.
for success and for guidance.
Okay. Well, roll a d20 and add your wisdom.
Every time he did anything, he made it like just smack him right in the face. Every time he tried to do something helpful with his sorcery, he would just be like, "Oh, damn, this bad thing happened."
You were a newt.
Okay. You have a sense that you feel somehow
I was planning on doing the same.
awful.
If I don't find the $40 temple, I would just
So he's like, "Sleep."
go to a church
Okay.
and pray.
Set the whole place on
You
fire.
find many other. I mean, there's lots of churches.
That would be really
Mostly
helpful.
Orthodox.
But it's still the same thing.
And you pray, and roll a d20, add your wisdom.
19.
She's dying. Still me from the tobacco that I was only smoking to get a light.
It seems like the sickness is in his ranks.
It was the first time he smoked. That's why.
One time. One time he tried the water pipe.
Got the black
No,
belt.
nothing. This doesn't work. I feel nothing. Always the first time. I feel nothing.
We'll go to the loony bin together.
You happen to be walking through the street, and you stumble across something. Take it, take it.
Oh.
No, you're supposed to pick, man.
You pick. You pick a head.
Okay. You stumble across that, and you pick it up, and you feel like. Sorry, you got the draw. You stumble across that, and you feel like you're almost like your God intended you to have something.
Good.
Okay.
Great healing.
And so the day starts. What do you guys do during that day? Anything in particular?
No,
I gotta learn how to make those.
We're waiting for nightfall, you know.
I have a printer, I just don't
I guess
know
we're just preparing to fight. Never get a full night's rest.
Oh! Wait a minute, did you sleep at all?
No, I don't think I slept. I didn't sleep.
Wow. During the day.
Yeah.
So, do you go to sleep?
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'm probably really tired.
I'll get there.
Have fun reading.
Awesome.
So wait, is it the morning right now? Still?
It's getting like morning. Polly came in, he met with you, and then he went on his way.
Well, under Jonas's direction, I'm gonna pull out that book that I have, and I'm gonna start reading up on how to create some potions.
Okay.
I'm gonna study.
What is the book? Help me. It was
a
yes.
potion making notes.
We need to deliver a letter still.
Yes, we need you to do that.
What letter?
The letter to
Give that to your bird.
Can you roll it up real tight?
Give your bird and then take it over to the tower.
Okay.
And I'll send the bird out.
And you can see the tower from the wall, so you can actually maintain that. How far is it?
100 feet somewhere.
100 feet. Nah, you'll probably start to lose it. It's about typical. Sorry, no. An arrow shot is about, I think max range is about 360 feet. So it's inside of that. It's probably about somewhere between 300 and 350 feet from the walls.
Okay.
Does that make
But
sense?
yeah, so I'll do the same thing. I'll
Fire
send
each
them on.
other. The
I got
tower
you.
and the walls.
They're not out of range of each other.
Yes. Does that make sense? Whereas the tower and the trench lines
Yes.
are out of range of each other because they don't want, the guys in the trenches don't want to get close enough that they can constantly be
Makes sense, yeah.
until they're ready to attack.
And then the tower is close enough to provide support if someone was trying to bang the walls down. Gotcha.
Bingo.
Okay,
The
fair enough.
whole point of the design.
Yes.
Okay, so you see him, you start to lose him after 100 feet, but you see him heading toward, into his vision.
I have confidence.
You see him heading toward the, toward the tower. Okay, he heads toward the tower, and then he comes back.
All right. Cord. Damn it, Raven, you don't eat.
That's probably a good place to pause.
Yeah, it does. It's supposed
It's telepathic. Wow, this is not like verbal. He's saying this.
I just hear his
You
voice.
don't hear that.
Oh. You do hear that other voice again. It kind of repeats that same aspect. I keep forgetting.
To dream?
No. Can I say it out loud?
Your hair.
I don't know. Do I have it written down? I have a note, right? Let's see. I might, yeah. So it wasn't the dream?
It might have been the very last line.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That one.
You gotta hear that in your head.
It's the devil.
I'm still very confused about it, so I'm not gonna really like. I'm gonna ignore it. You know, like I'm not gonna bring it to their attention because I'm still kind of confused about it. Don't want to like admit something crazy's going on.
I hope did everybody have fun?
Yeah.
Of course.
You guys. The wonderful thing about D&D is that it never goes the way you think it's going to go.
Still didn't?
No way!
I thought you still had. I thought you planned for what we're doing.
So far up. I did. And you just
Still
went
didn't work?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Can
You
we
went
ask?
in such a different
Can we ask
direction
what you thought was going on?
And I don't want to say what I thought because
Yeah.
it's cool what you do. I mean, but it's just like
I
you're gonna do that.
I gotta know though. What did you think
And
we were
then
gonna get?
no, it's not really relevant. But it's just funny that.
You thought we were going to the tower.
Yeah, but, I mean, there's a tower here, not a city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Good point.
So,
We're gonna end up at the tower.
At some point,
Yeah, as soon as those gates
We
open,
promise.
we have to take the tower.
I'm not going to pull a Matt Mercer on you and pull out my map and say, look what you missed.
Yeah.
Did you ever see him do that?
Yeah.
Like, I have all this prepared.
Yeah.
And you guys
Completely threw it all away.
You never know. I mean,
Yeah. But it's fine. Okay, experience.
0.
You guys. No. I give out experience tactics for combat. Not as much because it's just easier to quantify. It's very subjective when it gets to role playing. Whereas combat is very, it's spelled out in the books how to do it and so forth. So, in character, go around the table. What'd you do in character? Because I like to give bonuses. Figure out. Starting with Balder. Why did I have you? I don't even know why I did this. Balder. What'd you do in? Brad brought up a point on the traits, ideals, bonds, flaws. That's just D&D's system for creating kind of
Rounded characters.
I don't know, rounded is one way to put it. I guess kind of a what are your positives? What are your negatives? What makes this piece of paper human-ish or have personality? Because most of us, if you ask my wife, we have flaws. Although I don't believe I do.
It's a starting point.
Yeah. So you wanted to come up with something different, and that's cool. So if it doesn't fit right in that mold, and you want to change it, I'm okay with that. The goal is that you really should have some kind of virtue cult bait, and then some kind of thing that's not necessarily always positive.
I guess the only thing
It
I
can't be
did.
that job interview question. Oh, my one thing is that I like to work too hard.
I'm a
I'm a hard worker.
Oh, please.
Sometimes we get called over
Well, I guess the only thing I really did in character was I agreed to go along with this insane plan and basically just sentence ourselves to death in this town.
You really feel that way?
It seems that way.
Listen, looking at the siege outside, I don't have much hope for us. But I went in with you anyway. Dilly dilly.
Okay. Brad, Jumnus.
Oh, no, they said this all the time.
I guess the issues you wanted to fight. That's all I know.
We will see.
You did want to fight?
What's that?
You did want to fight, or you did
What
not?
do you mean?
We'll get back.
We will see what happens.
I guess the biggest thing character-wise was going to the church at the end
There's no greater honor than dying.
and asking for guidance. Because I mean, Jonas is not sure this is going to work. He's not sure if it's the right thing to do, so he's kind of hoping for a sign.
Okay.
I have one little line I said to the drug lord about peace and how one-sided his peace is. Jonas is pushing a lot in because he kind of has to do this.
Okay, fair enough. Kip. Mark.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I didn't do a lot in character. I know they asked me about, my adventures, and I avoided telling them about my past. There was a moment where I started talking to myself.
There was what?
A moment where I started talking to myself.
You did? I didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was at the fire, and you asked me, what are you doing? I was like, just sitting there talking to myself.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I do remember you saying that, but I didn't put it in with your flaw at the time. Okay, I can be daft sometimes. Maybe just
You're fine.
make it a little clearer when you say you're talking to yourself, not just talking to yourself. That you're talking to.
Yes. Understood.
Okay. Okay. Eli, Shalom. Is it Shalom or Shalom?
It's cool. Shalom.
With an M, because I saw it spelled two different ways in your.
With an M.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I think on the.
If I was the one who typed it two
Right
different
now,
ways,
it's
it's my fault.
Yeah, I think stream with an N. My bad. I'll fix that next. Okay.
This one.
I guess
The stream is broken, by the way. Anybody who is watching, or those of us who rewatch
Even
it,
with this one.
sorry that it broke.
Put the lid on. It's still just close
But-
because of this freaking detail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My new toy on the ground will in the near
it's
future.
gonna fix everything.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's pretty cool.
I guess
It must be made of a strong wood for them to be able to drill.
in
so
character,
far. So close to
I trust in God. I felt that they were gonna help me go to the city.
And it's still.
I fulfilled the first part of my mission, that was join the city and protect the
It's like
city.
smaller head.
standard size.
I'm really trying to
Like just
But
makes
it's
it.
also each sponsor
find more help
fits specifically.
for the city, protect the city.
Okay.
Specifically made for him.
Violence not here. Louvier, if you're watching, we look forward to seeing you next time. Warren, Brian.
What did I do? I got everybody killed.
That's the next session,
Hey,
everyone.
listen. I don't think maybe we won't all die, but it's gonna be bad.
No, I
Yeah,
guess I continue.
At least one will die.
I continue to kind of organizing.
Oh, you know it's you.
Yes.
Come next
This is
week.
crazy.
Come with that character.
You know.
We're all gonna come with a backup character next week.
I had a pause on that.
And I had a little bit of discussion with
Everyone has to bring it to
was it
level
Farouk?
one.
Farouk about
Back to Hero Forge.
yeah, Farouk. about kind of like
No, it's gotta be like
session
a beer fest.
or and
It's like the exact same guy, but it's your brother.
yeah, I'm very much on the side of you don't need
Jones'
any.
brother.
Who's better at drinking beer than the other one? Yes.
My name is
In ways.
It's better.
I'm his name. Just replace it with a G.
Well, I don't know if you did. I mean, it wasn't combat,
It is now bold.
but going around the table, I actually I have a method to my madness. It's not a crunching a lot, but the numbers actually crunch down the same for everybody. Warren, I'm impressed that you didn't attack. I'm honest, I thought
He's
for
a
sure-
man of faith. I can't attack
I thought it was like gonna be.
Well, it's different when
It's like a bonding ritual.
It's different when it's like when you're in
Sorry,
combat.
you get beat on.
Like
When you,
Come from God,
you're in
rage.
combat, and then all of a sudden a new person shows up. You're in combat.
But I was already thinking to myself,
Then, like, if he snuck up on us, then it would have been different. But he came right out in the open and was like, you know, you see people on the street all the time that almost rage and kill all them. So,
no, I thought that was cool. I thought that you kind of went out of your normal mode.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool, and we were trying to constantly think of a way of machinating this plot toward very
So
level.
into.
Almost like a spy-like approach to it. So 375. Eli, welcome to the group. I don't think you played any of my games before.
I played once a long time ago.
I don't even remember.
That's why I made a new
But
character.
you've been around so much. I mean, mostly in Miner's game and then in Violence game. I'm intrigued to see where this character goes. Because there's so many things. Whatever your perspective on religion is, that was the reality.
Yeah.
Early 14th century. And the whole thing. So this is a fantasy game, but it's got semi-historical basis, and so you can deviate massively from history. I don't have a problem with that, but I want to see where you're going to go. It's very interesting. 375 as well. Mark, I'm impressed that you went up. You so voluntarily said, "Sure, I'll go off on my own."
I'll stay here.
Let's split the party.
He needed some sort of a card on
I'm like,
that.
I don't know what's gonna happen to you, man.
Yeah, I don't even know when the signal's going off.
I don't know. If
Well, you talked about it. You were there when we discussed
If
it.
Miner does show up, you might work Louvier, you might have some assistance.
Right.
Your chances of success are as good as ours. So,
Well,
Yeah.
I felt a little better when I realized
Well,
that.
just in terms of staying alive, you probably have slightly higher percentage.
As we left,
the numbers.
If all goes south, I'll just run at you with them.
as you saw us walk out into the trenches, you're like, these guys don't even have a plan.
these guys are idiots.
But I'm impressed that you actually did that. From a DM perspective, I'm fine with you guys doing that, but it is challenging.
Right.
Don't let this change your do what you do. But when the party goes, like, you know, it's that.
Don't never
let's
split the
up
party.
and cover more ground. No, I don't have a problem with it, but it's don't. If you've ever DM'd it, suddenly you've got like.
Yeah.
Multiple directions to go.
It's funny. Like you were like, and what are you doing? I was like, oh, again?
Well, I don't want you to also feel like
Yeah.
I'm monopolized,
For sure.
somebody else is monopolizing the game, as much as that is a reality sometimes. So 375. Ryan, yeah, awesome use of your Raven, very cool. It's just very creative. 375, very cool. Brad, much like Warren, constantly manipulating the whole direction of the intrigue in 375. I hope everybody had fun.
Yeah.
If you haven't guessed, I write a lot of stuff, but a lot of it it's
Yeah.
because I'm like skip it, and it even throws me for a loop, and I'm like yeah. Okay.
With us involved, you no longer write
Right.
past the first game.
That's enough to
Just one game.
Level 7?
Level 7.
Wow.
That
We're not there yet.
I was 86 points away. Last
Wow!
week, so-
Congratulations,
Yes. That's
Ryder.
already helpful
If
for
you
me.
do watch, I think you were close too, but too bad.
You miss out on 375 experience.
I am level 2.
You know what? It starts to even out.
Yeah.
It's just a bad week.
Yeah.
man.
I'm just kidding.
You probably popped at least second level.
Listen, if you survive the next battle.
That- no, yeah, second level.
Hey, man. If you survive
You
this
need
battle,
roll
you get a lot of
XP, or not
No,
XP,
yeah.
hit points.
No, I'm
You
okay.
did it,
Yeah,
you're good?
yep.
Okay, if you need to roll your hit points, it's you just you roll the die. You either take the die and you can use inspiration to re-roll. So if you want to wait until you get more inspiration, that's cool too. Or you can take the average, whichever's higher, if that makes sense.
I roll a 7.
Awesome. If anyone is watching, thank you for watching. Have a great night. Everybody say thank you.
Good night.
And